Hey everyone, it's Lisa from Primitive Gatherings, and it's time for our number 7 mini quilt. And this one just happens to be named Very Berry Purple Mini Quilt. So you're going to go to our website and download this pattern for $5, and it is available at that price until next month when the next one releases, and this one goes up in price and the next one will be $5. So I hope you've been following along with us. All right, so I've shown you lots of different techniques so far with our minis, and if you want, go back and find the other mini tutorials that I have done previous to this one. So this one requires, here I'll show you the quilt first, right? So there's the quilt, isn't it gorgeous? So it's using a bunch of the purples and lights with purple on them from my Garden Gatherings fabric line. So if you want to use these exact fabrics, we do have kits available for them, and maybe fat quarter towers yet are still available of this. All right, so I'm not going to stitch for you today, but I'm going to talk about color placement on this one. So you're going to do some easy things. You're going to do your half square triangle paper. You need 3/4 inch finished. You're going to trim just a little bit outside of that solid line there. And then you need 2 more only. So you're going to just cut here and cut on the other side of that solid line there, and you're going to need this one as well. That's the only sizes you need for the half square triangles. All right, and then the quilt consists of a couple of 9 patches, and it's all just about fabric placement. So you have 3 purples in the quilt, and the first one is the dark purple, and that is this one right here with the little flowers on it. And then we have a second purple, which is the lightest purple, but it is considered a dark purple. And then we have one with a flower on it and a background grid in it. So this one is number 3. So you have to keep track of your fabric. So 1, 2, and 3. All right, so the half square triangles are made out of the background and the purple with the grid on. All right, and then we also have 2 other light purples. One reads pretty dense and one has some more space in it. So those are the other 2 lights. So those are the fabrics that we use, and the fabrics really make this quilt. So that's what I really want to talk about sometimes, is your fabric choices. So we have a 9 patch in the center. So I'm going to show this maybe right here. So this 9 patch right here is the only one with number 2, and then this dense light print here. And then we have another 9 patch right here with number 2 as well, and then the light purple here, not kind of the medium one, the less dense one of the 2. So those are the 9 patches. And then when you're placing these 9 patches, you have to be aware of the placement here. So just kind of know that this is all making these fun little pockets of color there. So those are the 9 patches. And then you have a couple little 9 patches out on the edge here. And those are done a certain well, but they're not 9 patches, they're just partial 9 patches out here to complete this here. And then we have one other block, but it is done 2 ways. So here is the block with the half square triangles, and then number 2 here, and then a second one with the half square triangles, and then 1 number 2 and 1 background here. So this is the solid background. So every time we're keeping the outside edge, the solid, and keeping all the prints in the middle. And that's really how the design is created. So isn't that super fun? And that's really all it is. There's not a lot of hard stitching in this block. Just follow the directions for the half square triangles. Again, all those are right on the front page of the triangle paper. Make sure you keep that so you can refer to that, because the biggest thing I find is when people are sewing at the gathering, I'll walk by their sewing machine and I'll look, and they're sewing triangle papers without shortening that stitch length. So make sure you lower that stitch length half to what you normally sew at. So I always sew at a little bit under 2 normally, and then when I sew triangle papers, I'm at 1 on my machine. So make sure it's drastic enough that when you're pulling the paper off, they kind of just perf right off, and they're super easy to get off, especially when we're making these little 3/4 inch finished half square triangles. All right, so that's all I have for you today on number 7. Make sure you download and make sure you look for the next one. Mark the 23rd on your calendar when all of our little mini quilts are released. Bye now.